One of the things that I don't believe is being talked about enough with the Los Angeles Lakers and their struggles this season was the second straight awful offseason for Rob Pelinka. Now, we gave him a pass following the championship in the bubble. It was a quick offseason. Obviously, the championship team's going to lose pieces. The Lakers, they lost Rajon Rondo, which I thought was a big mistake. Following the bubble ring, they let Dwight Howard walk to Philadelphia, which I thought was another mistake. I actually was in favor of the Lakers losing Danny Green. I probably was wrong about that one. Like, Danny has been a lot better than I thought he'd be at this point in his career with his 2 seasons in Philadelphia thus far. But for Rob Pelinka to turn around and have another awful offseason last summer is the one that I just can't get over. No one's talking about how bad this Kendrick Nunn sign was. We brought him in from Miami. The Heat let him walk. Kendrick claims he turned down more money. I don't know if that's true or not with Miami to play alongside LeBron and AD. The problem is he ain't played alongside LeBron and AD. Yet to play a game this season is guard Kendrick Nunn, who was supposed to be a difference maker for this team at point guard. Wasn't supposed to be relying on Russell Westbrook. Ideally, you bring Brody off the bench, which I think the Lakers are going to try to implement this after All-Star game, which I hope they do. But to make that work, you need a starting point guard, which is what Kendrick Nunn was supposed to be for this Lakers team. He's been out the whole season with a bone bruise? Fam, one day I tripped down the steps a couple weeks ago, and I bruised my knee. You know what I can do tomorrow if I need to? I can go play basketball. Nobody's out with a bone bruise for, would it be like 7-8 months now? Because, he finished the season with Miami and hadn't played since. Fam, a bone bruise? Rob Pelinka claims that Nunn will be back at some point in March. But my question is, if by the end of March, the Lakers will probably be out this playoff thing, they're tanking right now. They're heading south right now. They're not winning games. I'm sure in Kendrick's mind, he probably assumed that the Lakers would be able to hold it down without him, right? They have not been able to do that. I'm not saying Kendrick Nunn is our savior, but be clear, the Lakers can't afford to have anybody that's pivotal to their success out of that rotation right now. And I don't think by the time Nunn's able to come back, if it is late March, I don't think the Lakers will even be in the mix for the playoffs. We look awful right now. Being out a whole year for a bone bruise, when you got a 2-year, $10 million deal, the Lakers could have did something else with that money. Rob Pelinka, he struck gold bringing in Anthony Davis. I'll give him the ultimate credit for that. But since then, this has been bad. LeBron and AD, there was a report out in the atmosphere that Rob Pelinka claimed, that the Lakers front office had talked to LeBron and AD and everybody was on the same page about not making moves before the trade deadline. LeBron and AD's camps refute that report. So clearly there's some disagreements going on upstairs. The Lakers, for some odd reason, all of a sudden are cheap. I've been a Laker fan since I'm 5 years old. I'm 28 now. I just turned 28 a few days ago. The Lakers have never been cheap. We've always overspent it, even in scenarios that didn't make sense to overspend. Now, all of a sudden, the Lakers are trying to stay under. Why? You got LeBron right now. Go for it. You got AD right now, seemingly in his prime, if he can stay healthy. Why are y'all not going full throttle? Letting Alex Caruso walk has been a disaster. Some of these other guys at the Lakers, I'm fine with losing the Brandon Ingrams of the world. You had to do that to get AD. Losing Alonzo Ball of the world, you had to do that to get AD. I'm fine with all that. You got a championship out of it. To me, it's the smaller pieces that you had to lose, like not being able to hold on to a Josh Hart, who to me is a good rotational piece. Alex Caruso, I know he's making a pretty good lump sum of money with Chicago, but you also kept Taylor Horton-Tucker, who to me has been a disaster. Y'all kept gassing him up. LeBron, y'all kept gassing Taylor Horton-Tucker up. To me, he's a mini Westbrook, minus the great years that Russell Westbrook gave Oklahoma City. What is he doing? He doesn't make shots either. This Lakers team has had some abysmal off seasons, bringing in guys. Think about the roster the Lakers got. All these big names that don't play. DeAndre Jordan's a big name. He can't even make the court right now for LA. Dwight Howard still looks the part, can't even make the court a lot of nights for the Lakers. Carmelo Anthony has been one of the few things to work out for you. The Malik Monk signing was great. I'll give somebody credit for that one. That was a great signing, but I can't give the Lakers a crap ton of credit because a lot of these signings have been bad and have not panned out for LA.